guys, it's Sparrow's Nest Farm, Whit and Jenn. We are on the road again. We are doing something that we're really excited about today, something that we have been dreaming about and planning for years.
Talking about the pros and cons and the different options. And
hashing it out, backtracking, changing our mind because there's no way that this was something we could ever possibly do. I'm sure we're not the only ones that do that. When you're trying to plan something really big, that you get scared that maybe you're making the wrong choice, or maybe it's not real, or whatever, but it's a dream come true.
For those who don't know, our anniversary is coming up.
August 8th.
And it wasn't originally supposed to be an anniversary thing, but when we realized the correlation, it kind of became an anniversary thing.
Everything kind of fell into place, and it just seemed like the right thing to do. What we're about to do has been a lifelong dream for me, and something that Whit has always loved. So it just made sense to do it right now, beyond the other things that came up that made it possible.
So, I don't know, do we tell them now? Since they've probably already seen it by this point in the thumbnail or something.
I guess that depends on what we choose for the thumbnail.
We are headed to... Well,
You
she's
gonna
not
tell
going
him?
to say it. I guess I'll tell them. We're headed to a Jeep dealership. And I never ever thought I would ever in my life buy a new vehicle. But the Jeeps are holding their value so much these days, it doesn't make sense to buy a lightly used vehicle, a vehicle with 30,000 miles, and pay $500 less than buying it new. It just doesn't make sense. So Jeep's got their employee pricing going on right now, and we found a dealership that was having a great special on top of that. And now I gotta stop at the gas station, but we'll see you guys here shortly at the dealership.
We'll tell you more in a minute. Okay, so we made a quick stop for drinks because I'm thirsty. I'm doing that dry tongue slurring thing.
That was great.
I know. Anyways, so you all have seen Whit's big project that he's working on, his Jeep tear down and rebuild. I think he's calling it frame up rebuild. Is that what it's called?
Frame off.
Frame off rebuild. See, I don't know anything about that. Okay. In y'all's relationships, you have certain things that the other one will start talking, and all you hear is blah 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 blah. Yeah. So Whit will start telling me about what he's taking apart, or what tires he's looking at, or it's a lot of letters and numbers and words that I really don't know and understand, and all I hear is blah 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 blah, and I just smile and nod. And he does the same thing when I'm talking animals and gardening, so I don't feel too bad about it. But I think every relationship has that blah 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 thing. Please tell me that it's y'all too, and it's not just us.
Blah 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 blah.
There's a story behind that. We'll have to tell you sometime. So.
That was weird.
So. So Whit's got his Jeep, and he's always wanted a Jeep. His very first vehicle was a Jeep, and this Jeep has been a dream for him because he's put so much time and work into it, and he got to take it to Moab to wheel, and we've done a few other smaller wheeling trips, but Moab was like a big deal. Moab is a big deal. If you're in the Jeep community, you just know Moab's a big deal. Currently, I am driving a Dodge Journey. So we went out and bought a little red XJ, my little red XJ.
The XJ is the old box style Jeep Cherokee. Originally stood for experimental Jeep because it was the first uniframe, unibody vehicle that Jeep ever made. It didn't have a boxed frame like every other Jeep.
Now, what's great about this Jeep, it has 250,000 miles on it. It'll keep going. It's got problems. It can't go on long trips, but it'll start up reliably. It'll sit for months and start.
And the problems with the XJ for the most part are minor things. Like I think I've got a U-joint going bad in a drive shaft. So a couple $100, I throw a drive shaft in it. I wouldn't hesitate to drive it 5 hours. But
it's a good little car, but it's a little beat up car. It's definitely a secondary vehicle, and we kind of want to turn it into a wheeling vehicle, a fun vehicle. And especially we have a local Jeep ministry that we do, Tri-State Christian Jeepers, and we want to use it as part of our ministry for people who, I'm sorry, I keep losing my grip on the phone. For people who have never wheeled, that have wanted to try it, people who need the chance, sorry, I'm doing this. People who need the chance to just get away and get out of their situation for a minute, we want to use it to reach people. So, our plan for that,
Jeep.
past a Jeep, can you tell? Our plan for the XJ is we really want to make it not only a backup vehicle for when things aren't running, because that's just something that's been necessary for us, but also to help other people.
Yeah, whether it can be taken on the trail with us just so they can get away or spend some time in fellowship, or try out something that they've always wanted to do, fulfill a dream or something. Or whether it's someone needs a vehicle for a few days to get by or get to work or whatever. So the goal on that would be to make it a good dual-purpose rig, something that could be driven on the road, but also something that could be a good trail-worthy rig.
So that's our plan. Now, we also have a Dodge Ram pickup truck. And before we got it, it was Whit's dad's pickup, and he named it the Beast. And it is. It's a big truck.
It's a big truck. And it's a beast. And it's a V10, 8-liter V10. At the time, it had like the most horsepower, or not the most horsepower, the most torque that you could get in any production pickup. Diesels have outpowered that now with turbos and stuff, but it was a beast. It's big, it's beautiful, and it's old, and it's getting rusty, and stuff's starting to break. But it's been good to us.
It has been good to us. It was definitely something that we needed. Running a smallish Homestead, a pickup truck can be invaluable. But it is getting old. It is rusting. It is breaking. It's got a lot of problems, and we were looking at not only do we need to replace this Journey, but at some point we need to replace that truck.
Yeah, I had been thinking of fixing the truck up, making it just a bigger, beefier, beastier truck. You know, cutting out rust, welding in new panels, stuff like that, but the route that we're taking makes more sense.
Which brings us to the other dream. We like to go on adventures. We like to get away, way out, as far as we can get. We like to go camping. We like to hike. We like to just, I don't know, be away. And one of the things we have really wanted to do, but have not had a vehicle that would allow it, is overlanding.
Yeah, my Jeep will get us out there, but it won't carry enough gear to really overland for more than a day or two.
Yeah.
Not comfortably, at least, and not with our dogs.
Yeah, the TJ's pretty small, and taking our dogs with us is something that is really important to us. For those of you that don't know, we don't have any children, and that's another story for another time. I do have a video that talks a little bit about it. It's kind of older, but it's there if you want to go find it. But in the meantime, our dogs are our babies. So it's important to us, if we're going to be gone for like 2 weeks, we want to take our dogs. We love doing road trips.
And if something like 2 weeks would mean we do have to have someone to watch chickens, garden, goats if we have them, or sheep or whatever. Right now we just got the chickens in the garden, but in the past we've had goats, and that kind of made it a little more difficult to travel. But Jenn's mom has been able to help us out a few times. We've had a few friends that have been able to help us out a few times.
So, overlanding is our goal. The TJ is too small. It could do the work, but it couldn't carry everything we need. The XJ couldn't go as far right now as we would want to go. It could handle the wheeling. It could carry a good amount of stuff, and probably the dogs, but it wouldn't be an ideal situation. It would be very crowded.
Yeah, I'm 6'5". XJs were not meant for anyone over 6 foot. Long term, I can drive it to work. Long term, like a road trip, overlanding, I would be crazy uncomfortable.
And honestly, I'm 5'6", and I'm not a small person. And although I love the XJ, I love the power it has, I love the ability that it has, it's small for me too.
Yeah, the power it has. People sometimes say that they're, not super powerful, but this car has 285 horsepower and gets up and moves. I followed her in that XJ one day, and I had the pedal to the floor trying to keep up with her from a stop sign, and she just pulled away from me like nothing. The thing is shaped like a brick, and it's crazy fast.
I do like my XJ. So I think that's where we're going to end it for right now. We are almost to our destination, and we'll get back with you in a little bit and show you what we have decided to do. There it is. Isn't it pretty?
Jenn got a Gladiator.
Sorry, I can't see. Hang on.
It's sunny. How about we finish this on the drive home? While Jenn's driving her new Gladiator. So now you know. We just traded in Jenn's journey and bought a Gladiator. Like Jenn said, it is a little scary because it's the most we've ever spent on a vehicle. But we also made sure that we got a deal that I've been watching the forums and watching what prices people are getting. And the actual price we got on this compared to MSRP, I'm pretty comfortable with the way we came out on this. And considering the Wrangler and the Gladiator have some of the highest value retention, resale value retention of any vehicle. I guess I'm not super worried about buying a new vehicle compared to what I would be with any other vehicle. I've always been one that would never think of buying a new vehicle because it seems ridiculous to lose $5,000 by driving a vehicle off the lot. But like I said earlier, buying a vehicle with 30,000 miles for almost the same price as buying it new just doesn't make sense to me. Plus, where are you going to find a Gladiator used? Yeah. If you do, I think it was a lemon that someone was trying to get rid of. That's all I'm going to say about that. But I'm excited. I think Jen's excited. Look at that smile on her face.
Jeep.
She finally owns a Jeep of her own.
All of my life, I have wanted a Jeep. Oops. He threw us. How dare he? All of my life, I have wanted a Jeep. And this is not the Jeep I thought I was going to end up with at all. I really thought that I was going to end up with a little two-door, and I was totally excited about that. This is going to be amazing. This is going to be amazing for the trips that we'll be taking. Did it just shut off?
It did just shut off.
I didn't know it would do that.
It will. And there we go again.
And it
Starts
started.
right back up.
Oh, that's crazy.
Jen, you drove it 3 miles and you already killed the engine?
Stop it. So anyways, this is going to make our overlanding adventures so much better, so much more possible. It's going to give us the freedom to get rid of our other truck. This has the towing package, so we can tow a trailer behind it if we need to. Yeah, it's really going to be a good thing for us.
Yeah. This wasn't the original one that we had actually been looking at. So we actually went yesterday and we talked to them about prices and stuff. We talked to them about what we were looking at. Jen drove a Wrangler Sahara, which I was pretty adamant we're not getting the Sahara because
I was okay with that.
yeah, the Sahara's got a lot of creature comforts that do not hold value. And that's one of the things. We just don't want to lose a bunch of money just by driving a vehicle off a lot, like I already said. And so she was able to drive the Wrangler, but they didn't have a Gladiator on the lot. Now, inside, they're fairly similar, so she got a pretty good feel of what it was going to be like in a Gladiator.
Yeah, it feels the same. It's just riding a little higher.
Rides a little higher. It's a longer wheelbase, so it turns a little bit different. Probably a little better feel to what you're used to, I would imagine.
Yeah.
And so, sorry, the dealer just texted me congratulations. I would have to say, if you're ever in the Defiance, Ohio area and looking for a Chrysler product, try Derrow. Their thing is drive Derrow. We were extremely pleased, I would say, with the experience we had.
They worked really hard to get exactly what we were asking for. This is a little more than we were asking for, but it was because they're kind of hard to find right now.
They are. So this is the first year of the Gladiator, and for I think like 3.5 months, because of you know what, the factory was shut down. So the ones that were on the lot started disappearing, and dealers were not so happy about trading with him. The one that we actually found last night that was kind of the package we wanted, other than the fact that they didn't have the max tow package, which we still were not able to get the max tow package. That's probably the one regret I've got.
We're still going to be fine. It's going to tow anything we want to tow. Just the max tow for overlanding just would have been a better thing to have.
Yeah, the max tow package, if you're looking at a Gladiator, especially if you're looking at ordering one special, it's a lot for the money. I mean, it's about the best package the Gladiator has. Granted, you could always go with the Rubicon, but Honestly, if I had a choice between a Rubicon and a Gladiator with the max tow package, I'd probably go with the max tow. It's just a loaded package for what it is, for the price it is. We were not able to get that. But the one that we had picked out last night we left, he said he was going to call that dealer and get it shipping down here. So this morning, last night, like 2.5 hours after they closed, my rep texted me, hey, that dealer bought all those special for a fleet, and so they're already sold. Are you pretty well stuck on white? And I said, yeah, white's gonna be a pretty big sticking point for this one over here.
Had to be white.
Had to be white.
You'll find out why eventually, but it had to be white.
We did give him a backup choice and a third, a very distant third, which would have been my first. But he worked all day long, he was trying to contact dealerships, and no one was trading with him because anyone that's got a Gladiator right now wants it on the lot. Okay, so eventually they found two and had them shipped on in, and he said, well, you're going to have your choice. One of them never arrived by the time we were there. It's still coming in. I think he said it'll be there at like 9 o'clock tonight, but it didn't have any tow package at all, so we pretty well ruled that one out. This one has more options than we were originally hoping for. Not bad options. I mean, she's got the cold weather group, so she's got heated seats and steering wheel like she had in the Journey. Not so happy about the $400 garage door opener. I could have passed on that.
Yeah, this thing ain't gonna fit in our garage.
Yeah, we've got one garage. This isn't gonna fit in it. And we've got an extra remote because nothing fits in it. Nothing we have except the Cherokee fits in there. So yeah, I could have passed on that. But otherwise, I think we're happy. Are you happy?
I'm happy. I've got my Jeep.
She's got her Jeep. It's gonna be an overlanding rig. It's got some special stuff coming. You'll probably see a little more of this among our little mini-series groups. And I think at that, is there anything else you want to say?
I'm extremely happy.
She's not just happy, she's extremely happy. I'm pretty happy. The Gladiator was one that for years before it came out, I was actually super stoked about it. I was one of those geeks that was looking up the specs before they even fully announced them, trying to catch spy photos and stuff. So to have a Gladiator in the driveway as soon as we get home, I guess, it's going to be pretty cool. Super stoked. A little worried, but I think we're good. I think we actually came out really good on this. And so with that, I say good night to y'all. Thanks for watching.
Take care. God bless.
So, it just died on us again.
Shut up.
Have you guys heard of the Jeep Wave? And I know this is my outtake for the night. I already know it. Jenn hasn't had much chance to Jeep Wave in the XJ because no one waves to XJs for some reason. But I just pointed out, hey, you're in like a Jeep that looks like a Jeep now, so you're going to have to Jeep Wave. And she's like, I don't remember how to do it because it's been so long. And I said, well, there's your chance. There's a Jeep right there. And so she put up her hand and waved at the Chevy truck that passed, and then put her hand down before the Jeep actually arrived.
The Jeep saw my hand. The Jeep saw my hand. I was excited. I got excited.
It was hilarious, y'all.